All right, shalom, and welcome to another Bible study that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yeshua. My name is Esaac ben Israel, and I'm the elder priest of the United Congregation of Israel. And I'm joined here by Priest Mikhail. Shalom, my brother.
Shalom, elder.
All right, so we have a few questions, and a good portion of this is going to be dealing with the Sabbath because we got a really interesting question, and I kind of have received some things along the years, even in some of the things that have happened to me along this journey, and how it normally gets interesting is when you start dealing with people who are in the faith, but they have learned in different manners. So then they will kind of deal with things in a different manner. So, once I was invited to a party, and what was interesting is this was somebody that I actually went to church with. This was somebody who I learned in the same building that they learned. Matter of fact, they were in the building before I was. So that, of course, gave me the belief that they were, up to par. And they invited me to this gathering that they were having. And they said, it's okay because it's going to be at 6 o'clock. And I was like, so what's 6 o'clock? So, that'll be at the end of the Sabbath. And I was like, now, that's a tricky little statement, because if you deal with when the even comes or when the sun is down, now, when it's cold, 6 o'clock may actually be the end of the Sabbath. But check out the slickness of what they did. This was summertime. So 6 o'clock is shining bright. And they have, invited me to this event. And they're in the same halls where I am, inviting other people. Because of how we sometimes operate in cliques, we ask for information and we seek answers inside of the clique that we're in. So out of all of these people who knew my elder before me, I went to talk to my elder. I knew I didn't want to talk to the same dumb knuckles in the hall. They were just as dumb as I was. I want to seek somebody only in complete and utter idiot goes and finds somebody dumber than them and said, can you solve my tax problem? No, because I am dumber than you. I cannot solve that issue. So me going to the guy who I know hanging out in the alley, and I keep seeing smoke come from his mouth. What are you doing back there? I'm not asking him. Okay, I'm finna inconvenience myself. And there's a question about that. It says, one of the questions says, humble yourself. Okay, I had to humble myself. Excuse me, elder. I was invited to this thing, and it was saying it was okay because it was at 6 o'clock. That old man looked at me for a minute. Who told you that? I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to get in all. Look, now, see, now you going, you look, I just need you to, look, if this mess, yes, it's mess. So, okay, now I go back out into the hall and find out, there's multiple individuals who are saying they are going to this 6 o'clock shindig. Now, what do I do? Now, I'm in a situation. Because instead of asking among my friends, which is what every last one of them did, but here's the real thing, and eventually I got to that. They already knew what the old man was going to say. They purposely didn't go to the old man. They went elsewhere because they didn't want to hear what the old man had to say. They already knew. So at that point, I wasn't aware that all of these people had made a decision that 6 o'clock was as far as they were going to allow a Sabbath to go. After that, it was their own day. They had already made that decision in their heart and mind. And after going through some things, then my elder let me know, because there was a very knowledgeable deacon who was among that circle. And I said, look, now I know he know. He said, yeah, I know he know. Now, when my elder passed, that same deacon joined on the moving Sabbath team. Sooner or later, and they were trying to introduce me in the same halls. The very same halls where I heard the Sabbath end at 6. A few years later, the Sabbath started moving. The Sabbath was all over. One minute, the Sabbath was Tuesday. And then it went, and then the Sabbath was Thursday. I said, well, damn. First the Sabbath early. Now it's all over the place. Sabbath don't know what they're going to do. Now we got to go find the Sabbath. Interesting that it was the same individuals, but it was years apart. Sometimes you got to go sit down and play back some events and say, that's peculiar. Because before, you said it ended at 6. Now you're telling me that it can just be on any day. That is interesting. And we have to understand how, why we have to deal with this. It is written, except your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no wise enter into the kingdom. Now understand now. The scribes and the Pharisees deal with the keeping of the Sabbath in a serious way. So we have to find where is the spiritual balance with that. And just having been here among other groups who keep the Sabbath, I was asked to put a Sabbath switch on some people's devices. I said, so why you call it the Sabbath switch? They said, because when the Sabbath come in, I want to flip the switch and I want to turn the light off on this device. I said, why? He said, because the light mean it's working. I said, say it ain't so. I said, so the light working? The little red light is working. And they needed to turn the red light off because the red light was breaking the Sabbath. I said, well, damn, that is interesting. That sinful red light. And it was the red light on the device. And they needed to be able, and why you would need a switch. If anybody, don't work on things, you understand why you would need a switch. If you just unplug something to have a battery, you're going to kill the battery every week. If you wire it up with the switch, you're going to cut off the power to the battery, and you're going to cut off the power coming from the AC so that the whole thing goes in pause and it does not use up the battery. So that was something that I was asked to wire up. And I mean, well, my job to decide whether or not this is righteous or not. I was not the righteous detector. But what I was is the man who was paid to put in that Sabbath switch. And I tell you what, if you pay for it, you gonna get it. Yes, it is. Matter of fact, do you need any more Sabbath switches in here? Because I think I seen a light over there. I said, oh, I'm sorry. That was somebody turning the lights. My bad. I put one in now. Because let me tell you, I'm about to run a sale on these Sabbath switches. I just found out how easy it is. Look here. Well, I'm gonna run these on sale. But if that's what you're gonna pay for, then that's what we're gonna do. All right. So the question says, Shalom, elder and family. I pray all is well. Recently, I was asked of my brother in the faith to be the best man in his wedding. Of course, I was elated until he told me the day the ceremony was to be held on the Sabbath. We have been talking about it and have showed me evidences of marriage feasts that did go through the Sabbath. You should have sent those evidences in the email because I don't know where those evidences was. I would like to investigate those, and if you will, you can send those even sometime later, and then we can look at that a little later.
You forward that to me too?
Yeah. That sounds interesting. That sounds like something I would really like to look into. I wanted to ask. I remember there was a question about attending a funeral on the Sabbath. I believe it's different for funerals and weddings, but I was wondering if I need to stand by my brother in regard to this or the opposite. Now, I guess the the biggest question that I have, and I guess the one that hit me, was the brother in the faith. That was a very strong thing, because I actually would have had a different answer if it was just your natural brother. Because we know that we have family members who worship Satan. We know this. All right? We know this. All right? But when we say a brother in the faith, now we're on a different level of measuring this now, because of that one part. This is how we get done in contracts, because there'll be one clause, and the one clause completely changes the whole writing. The most powerful part in this question is, or the most powerful statement is, brother in the faith. So now we got to deal with something. Let's start at Isaiah chapter 58. Start that at verse 1.
Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up your voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Now, here goes that question again after I go and talk to the man. Excuse me, old man who sit in the back. Did the Sabbath end at 6 p.m.? Boy, is you crazy? Okay, now, I had to ask myself, lift up your voice like a trumpet. Do I go and feel comfortable to myself? Or has the trumpet now just received a note? Go play this, boy. Here go the note. Now, does the trumpet play its own note, or does the trumpet play the note that it received from the director? The director just gave me a note. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to hold my trumpet? Or I'm going to go out there and I'm going to let this trumpet sound? Because I just got a note. Right. Now, see, without a note, I'm just a man holding a trumpet. But I got a note now. Something pushed me to go get a note. Go ahead.
Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways.
Wait a minute now. Most of all of these questions that I ended up running into, they were not people out in the street. These were all people within the same congregation, in the same walls, learning from the same teacher that I learned from. And quite frankly, all of those that were asking those questions, they all were there longer than me. Go ahead.
As a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their Elohim, they asked of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching to Elohim.
They take delight in the approaching. We should take delight in walking. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and you see us not. Wherefore have we afflicted our souls, and you take us no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors.
Wait a minute. Right there, your fast has changed its state. Because you have done the things that were pleasing unto you, because you have done still all of your work, your fast has severely diminished now. Not because there was like you should not have fasted, but the fast was done in a way that the purity of it was taken away. So this is interesting. So we know a fast is a righteous act, but it does matter how you do it. Go ahead.
Verse 4, behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall fast as you do this day. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. It is such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul. It is to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him.
Now, what does that do? If you bow down your head as a bulrush and spread sackcloth and ashes under you, guess what? Everybody knows you're fasting. Wait a minute. Now you have these nice things said about, look at that righteous person over there fasting. Why everybody got to know you fasting? You just sounded a trumpet and you bam, 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 bam. Hello, all, I am fasting. You know when people should know you fasting? When they standing by you and then they hear, they was like, what was that? Oh, it was my stomach. Oh, you must be fasting. Your stomach told on you, you didn't. But if you put sackcloth and ashes on you, you disfigure your look, you going around, and then we like to do this, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We like to just disfigure our face so somebody asks us what's wrong. Yeah. What's wrong? Oh, no, I'm just fasting. Okay. Go ahead.
Will you call this a fast, an acceptable day to Yah? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? It is not to deal your bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor that you cast out to your house. When you see the naked, that you cover him, and that you hide not yourself from your own flesh. Then shall your light break forth as the morning, and your health shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you. The glory of Yah shall be your reward, your reward. Then shall you call, and Yahweh shall answer. You shall cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If you take away from the midst of you the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and the speaking vanity, and if you draw out of your soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall your light rise in obscurity, and your darkness shall be as the noonday. Mm-hmm. And Yahweh shall guide you continually, and satisfy your soul in drought, and make fat your bones. And you shall be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose water fail not. And they that shall be of you shall build the old waste places. You shall rise up the foundations of many generations, and you shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in.
Wait a minute. That means that we have to be the ones who break in some of those family curses. See? Those are breaches within our family, within the generations of our family. And somebody had to come in and say, oh, I'm going to fill that gap right there. Go ahead.
Hard to stand in that pain, though, Elder.
Yeah. See, because you know you're going to get knocked down. You know what I'm saying? You see, you see all the opposition coming from you, coming toward you. But you know, if you flinch, you ain't going to get the joy. Right. You can't flinch. Because see, now you move. Hey, you got scared. You saw it coming toward you. You move. Bam, now you hit the ground for no reason. Right. You got to stand there. You got to stand there in the paint. Take whatever that comes. Then you get the charge. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And if you turn away your foot from the Sabbath.
All right, go ahead.
From doing your pleasures on my holy day.
Wait a minute. If you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, if you are doing your event on the Sabbath, your foot is on it, meaning you stepping on it. And if you are getting married, I can't think of any more things that would be called a pleasure. And if your wedding is not a pleasure, what the hell you getting married for? So, my question would be, if it's an individual in the faith, why is that the day? I am not competing with my Elohim for that day. My biggest question is, when it's an individual in the faith, why did you choose Saturday as the day. Man, there's certain things we don't have any choice of. We know that when we have a family member who passes, man, we know that funeral gonna be on the Sabbath. We have to go ahead and make that decision. All right, man, how close are they to you? Is it mama, big mama? Come on, man, you gotta make a decision. Is it grandmama? What is it? If it's cousin, hey, look, y'all, I'm gonna send some flowers. All right? But when my grandmama died, hey, look, I had to go. All right, bro. Hey, I'm gonna need y'all to cover for me. I got to go stand there. Now, this lady right here, this was one of the ladies I live with. Now, I gotta go. This was like one of my mamas. When I got kicked out of them schools, that was one of them ladies that took me in. No, when ain't one of them passed, I gotta go. I don't care what day it's on, I'm going. All right, but now we gotta ask a question. What's your partner them mean to you? What nice slick pimping? Partner? Man? What now? There's certain things I'm gonna go to my Elohim for. And let me tell you something. Ain't there one of them named man or slick partner? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
So when I go to my Elohim, let me tell you something. I got some real questions, but I guarantee you, it ain't gonna be about man. So see, it gonna be one of them old names. Look, hey, y'all, I gotta talk to you about Gertrude. I gotta talk to you about Miss Lucy. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta talk to you about Miss Wilhelmina. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not finna talk to you about no man. We're not talking about that. So we have to put some ways right there. It says, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words. This is some heavy stuff that we just gonna put that out there and put that way. It says that our Elohim is a very jealous Elohim. So he says it's his holy day. Mm-hmm. And then he look up. Oh, you schedule an event today too? Mm. So my event competing with your event? Oh, okay.
We brothers in the word.
Hey, wait, whoa. Hold on now. Hold on. And I gonna put my Elohim in that kind of jealousy? So he looked and said, well, you know, I seen you down there happy side. But when I look closer, you wasn't, because I figured it was the Sabbath. And I figured that's what you was happy about. But then I saw you, and I said, man, he extra dressed. And I looked and I said, oh no, you in the shindig. Now I've activated my Elohim's jealousy. See, we quick to say something, but what have we done that activates that jealousy? We don't like what jealousy brings, but what have we done to nurture that jealousy? On the same day? That's something. Go ahead, brother.
You gotta think. Some people do things because they put a lot of. Well, his partner might be knowledgeable of a lot of things in the Word, so he put a lot of trust in what his partner say when he say, you know, hey, it's okay that we do this, yes, sir. You know, and we in the Word. Me and you, we brothers in the Word, right?
Right, bro.
So when we talk about marriage, we know it's marriage, and then there's a marriage feast. Mm-hmm. But either way, you don't supposed to be doing all your pleasure, and you're having another feast on a day, on his day that he.
Now, man, why you got to go there? No. Since you go there, let's go ahead and tell the truth and shame the devil. Neither one of your marriages should have been on the Sabbath.
Neither.
All right, let me explain something. Now we're about to explain something. All right, so when bird meet a bee.
Right.
Right? Yeah. And the bird I mean the bee. And then the bird and the bee, and they meet each other. Yeah. Pow! All right? That, my friend, should not be on the Sabbath. Okay? Just so you know. All right? That's the actual wedding. So that we understand the difference. when you invite people to tell people about this, that is the wedding feast. All right? So one is the wedding. All right? Just go ahead and put it out there. I should never be at anybody's wedding. All right? I will never be. Don't send out invitations to your wedding. I know what it sounds like when you look at what today's world says.
Right.
But nobody should be invited to your wedding except the people who getting married. All right? That's
right,
it.
Right.
Okay? So after that is the wedding feast. Why would we make a competition with our Creator and put that on that day? I have to ask that question since it is someone in the faith. We don't have, when we have these other things with people outside of the faith, we know we don't have any control over that. We know from the minute they're putting it together, it's going to be a curveball in there somewhere. And they wait to the last minute to tell you about the curveball. You can say all these things. All right, now we're going to do such and such. And all right, now we not going to have the body in the service. No, we're not going to do. And you get right around the corner. Who is that? You know what? You did say the body wasn't supposed to be in here. Man, come on, man. Don't play with me. Don't play in my face. I knew y'all were going to play these games. I knew y'all were going to play. And they wait till there ain't nothing you can do. Now you've been obligated and you standing there, your whole family sitting there dressed up, looking at you. What we gonna do? Come on, let's go. We here now. I don't already miss my Sabbath. Ain't like I can run in there now. Why? Because I can't run. I done already been in here where body is. I can't now run into go and keep my Sabbath on the same day. I already can't keep it. Okay. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 17. Start at verse 19.
Thus says Yahweh unto me, go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Yehudah come in, and by the which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem. And say unto them, hear you the word of Yahweh, you kings of Yehudah, and all of Judea, and all of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, that enter in by these gates. Thus says Yahweh, take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem.
Now, please, we're gonna need to go ahead and deal with something right now. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 19. Thus says Yahweh unto me, go and stand in the gate of the children of your people, of the people. Understand now, you talking about grown men. Let me tell you something. We don't put the same burden on children that we put on grown men. We don't tell a 5-year-old that you need to sit here until the sun go down. Man, you out your mind. You know how hard it is for that child to sit still? So please don't get this twisted. That the children, because there are some places that they govern the children like that. They have military type mentality on a kid. So please don't let that get you way off on the side over here. Go ahead.
Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do you any work, but hallow you the Shabbat day, as I commanded your fathers.
If you hallow it, it is set aside as holy. So if it is set aside as holy, then the things that we are doing have to be connected in a certain fashion. Now, there are instances where other things take place, but we have to ask ourselves, what is the necessity of some things that take place? If I planned it, it wasn't a necessity. You mean I could have planned it? I could have just put it on another day? So why did I put it on his day? Because see, we know our heathen people are not going to show up on Sunday. They tell you, I don't know, I'm going to church. And after I come out of shush, we're going to Piccadilly. That's it. They're not coming. So now you done lessened yours because you know ain't that much time after shush in Piccadilly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 23. But they obeyed not,
Mm-hmm.
neither inclined their ear, but made their neck stiff, that they might not hear, nor receive instruction.
Made their neck stiff that they might not hear. Oh no, we found something that we didn't want to adhere to. You ever seen somebody cut somebody off on the road and they cut them off and then that person get right beside them and start yelling at them and then their neck so stiff they're like, I ain't looking over there. You know you can see me over here. And the other person, la, 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 and they act like they don't see over there at all. Okay, that's us. Mm-hmm. We see that commandment right there at the corner of our eye. We say, no, I'm not going to turn. Right. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, if you diligently hearken unto me, said Yah, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Shabbat.
You know how many people have to work for a wedding to go through? I know it 2 people saying I do. But let me tell you something. It's a whole lot of people who have to put other stuff together for that to go right. So we're not just dealing with the few individuals who's standing in the front. Who prepared that food? Who got these tables? Who pulled out these chairs? Who cut the grass? Who did all of this stuff? Who brought in the drinks? Somebody had to work. So now, because this is the day we chose, and in our mind, and it's interesting what you said, you know, when you look up to somebody and they say, you know, it's okay, wait a minute. Are you counting all the other individuals that are going to have to do something for this event to go through? So we're not just talking about 1, 2, 3 cuts in the Sabbath. We're talking about many broken parts of the Sabbath with every individual involved who is working to provide that. Never mind the individuals who just showed up. We're not just counting them because they didn't show up and clean the table. Somebody had already done that. Okay, go ahead.
Only for money too.
Yes. You had to pay somebody. So, well, you know, the people that cook the food. Right. Let me tell you something. If all your food free, I hope you keeping all the words of the scripture, and you just gonna get married one time. Cause let me tell you something, ain't nobody else coming in there one day. Cause that's gonna be some nasty food. You just gonna let anybody just bring something? It's gonna be like a potluck. Good luck. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass. I'm sorry. Verse 25. Then shall there enter into the gates of the city kings and princes, sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and horses. They and their princes, the men of Yehuda, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city shall remain forever. And they shall come from the cities of Judea, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings and sacrifices, and meat offerings, and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise unto the house of Yah. But if you will not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day.
If you decide not to make the Sabbath holy. And it's so funny that people like, I'm going to show up for the holy days. You are? When you going to start? They say, I'm going to start Passover. You know how many holy days you missed before Passover got here? Every Sabbath is holy. You gonna show you coming for the holy days? Really? So I'm going to see you Saturday then. No, I mean Passover. Right. Go ahead.
They just cut the scripture up. Man. They say they remember the Sabbath, but the keeping it holy part.
I remember when it was.
Yeah, right,
I remember
right. It was 6. And it ended at 6.
I remember it at 6. Yeah, okay. But you forgot to keep it holy. Okay, go ahead.
And not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Shabbat day. Mm-hmm. Then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched.
All right. Now, we have to understand that there's base for this. As we get into the prophets and they're saying these things, understand, they're talking about Israel and the future to come. So we still have the base that was given unto us. Let's go to Exodus chapter 16. Start at verse 16. Exodus 16 to 16.
This is the thing which Yahweh had commanded. Gather it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man, according to the number of your persons. Take you every man for them which are in his tents.
Now, we're dealing with the manna as this manna is given unto the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did so, and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moshe said, let no man leave it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moshe, but some of them left of it until the morning. And it bred worms, and stank. And Moshe was angry with them. Mm-hmm. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregations came and told Moshe. And he said unto them, that is that which Yahweh had said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Shabbat unto Yah. Bake that which you will bake today, and seed that you will seed. Mm-hmm. And that which remains over lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
So wait a minute. On the preparation day, they get twice as much, which is that 6th day. Now they're supposed to bake and prepare all of that. Let me tell you something. When you get down to dealing with bread, it is something that could be left out and it will not go bad right away. So when we're talking about you have this, all right, you're going to prepare this, and it's specifically for the Sabbath. He gave you double the amount so that you wouldn't have to be going through this cooking on the Shabbat. See, one of the things that we don't really understand is when Yahweh gave us our land and we're in control of our own space, what would you be doing on Friday at the preparation day that would have you so busy that you couldn't prepare for the Sabbath? See, we're in the daughter of Babylon. We still got to work. We still got to go pick up the children. The children still talking about they need such and such. So you running from here to there. You all over the place. And sometimes you be like, man, I didn't get this and that. That's actually part of the curse. Because we're not supposed to have to be doing that. This is part of our curse. We had it to where this block of time was completely free to us, and we didn't deal with it right. See, our problem is when we have something for a while, it lowers in value in our mind, and now we want more and believe we deserve more. So in turn, Yahweh has to take away everything just so you can ask for what you had again. He don't just give you more just because you say, you know what, I didn't think I deserved more. What you do? I just will get it back then. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you something better. All right. And you sitting there like, yeah, Yahweh done took this. He finna get it. Put your hands up. All right. No, and just keep your hands right there. Just keep holding them. So how long? You hold them right there for 20 years. What? Yeah, from 20 years from now, I'm going to give you something better. And you're going to know how to treat it the next time I give it to you. Knuckle! Right. Then we're going to learn. Right. No, I'm going to give you something better. But it's going to be 20 years from now. See, we have to learn Yahweh ain't nothing to play with. See, we have to figure that out. When they say, oh, we want flesh. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You going to kill all the animals to get up like, man, shut up. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. Y'all going to eat your own chicken? This is what the kids will say today. I'm so tired of chicken. Hey, let me tell you something. Eat that chicken. Y'all want that yard bird? That's what it is. He said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna give them so much until it shoot out their nostrils. Okay. Be careful. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 24. And they laid it up until the morning, as Moshe bade, and it did not stink.
Okay, so the stuff that came on the preparation day didn't stink. Like if you kept over the stuff that happened during the other days. Look at Yahweh. Go ahead.
Neither was there any worm therein. And Moshe said, eat that today, for today is the Shabbat unto Yahweh. Today you shall not find it in the field.
You ain't gonna find it now. All right, now you ain't gonna find it, but you know we have to. We have to go and prove stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have sometimes, man. You'll be talking to somebody and they'll just lead the conversation like mentally, so they can look it up on the internet. Yep, you're right. Did you just missed the last 3 sentences because you were looking that up on your phone? We have to go and we got to prove something in the middle of the sentence. Not even that we're gonna go later. We finna prove it. He said, "Don't go now. You ain't gonna find it." Not us. We got to go Google it. Now watch us Google it. Go ahead.
It's worse. We got AI.
Yeah. Oh, they about to have AI too. IA too. Go ahead.
6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Shabbat, in it there shall be none.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass that they went out, some of the people on the 7th day, for to gather, and they found none.
You have to wonder what that conversation went like. Hey man, y'all want to go look for some manna? So, folk don't like to do wrong by themselves. They always have to gather somebody else. So there was a manna meeting. Well, they decided that they were going to get together and go look for this manna. He didn't say, we found this one dude out looking. No. Some of them went out. So they wanted to make sure that they had some help. And we think people are inviting us because they like us. They invite you because they don't want to do wrong by themselves. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, how long refuse you to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that Yahweh had given you the Shabbat. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide you every man in this place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
Stop. Yahweh said, stay in your house. Israel can't follow instruction. He said, look, just stay in your house. How about that? Stay in your house. Y'all can't follow instructions. I said don't go looking for it. I tell you what, stay in your house. Then Yahweh gives us a house. So now he said, stay in my house. But we said, I'm going to stay till 6. Right. Okay. All right. We're gonna see how that works. Let's go to John chapter 2. I'm gonna stay in your house till 6, but after that, I'm trying to tell you, Yahweh, you're trying to hold me down. Okay. All right. John chapter 2 and started at verse 13.
And the Yehudis' Passover was at hand, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changer of money, sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had made a scourge of some cords, he drove them out. He drove them all out of the temple,
Mm-hmm.
and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables.
Now, it says in the Passover was at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. If we back up, it says there was a wedding at Cana. Now, in the third day, you jump to verse 1. In the third day, there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Yeshua was there, and both Yeshua was calling his disciples to the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he left. I wonder if it was 6 o'clock. I wonder if he left the temple and went to the wedding. Cause they called him. They said, Yeshua, come to the marriage.
It says the third day.
That's what I looked at. But I mean, because some people keep the moving
Sabbath. Yeah.
So the Sabbath could have moved.
I'm following you now.
Sometimes,
I got you.
Sometimes it's shaky. You know what I'm saying? You try to tackle the Sabbath and it moved. You know what I'm saying? And you got shook. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So you have this situation, and it's just interesting here when you deal with that. Mm-hmm. But it says he made a small scourge. He made a scourge of small cords, and he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and he poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables. He was pretty serious about how things ought to operate in, that space. So when we then talk about leaving that to do something else, see, a lot of times, people might see us and not really understand. I know you see a different background. Understand, we're in a different room. Because there's a room that has been set aside, and for all practical purposes, we don't go in that room until it's the Sabbath. Okay? So there are things that have to be dealt with in a certain way. But sometimes because we want so many people, we want so many likes on Facebook. We want so many everything that we let all of that slide so that we can get some kind of recognition. Yeshua don't really care about nobody. He's finna get recognized. But it ain't because of the reason that everybody think. All right? He is going to town. He's not caring about anybody's feelings. He's saying this is how this has to be done. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Uh-huh.
And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of your house has eaten me up.
Wait a minute. The zeal of your house has eaten me up. He has so much zeal for it that he wants it to be better. And it's funny. As you start to do that, you'll get people who will come and say, you got too much zeal toward the house. What? Why you doing this? You know what, man? How much they paying you for this? Don't you know you got a family? Like, you need to be reminded that you have a family. That the zeal bothers them. And what ends up bothering them is they realize that what you are displaying, they don't have, and you are bringing light to what they don't have. Now, if you stop, then it makes them fit in better. We don't even understand that we be at attack like that. We think that these people are trying to hang out with us. No, these people have gotten you to lower your light. Now, if somebody just came at us and said, lower your light, then we got a problem. But we don't understand. We were talking to lowering our light. What do you think they were doing? They wasn't inviting you because they like you. They was inviting you so you can turn down your light and you would make it easier for them to exist. That's not what I heard either when they told me, well, you can go at 6 o'clock. I didn't know that's what I eventually figured out what that was. So we see then that this zeal is there. Now, we have to then go on the other side of that because there are things that have to be done. Let's go to Matthew chapter 12. Start that at verse 1.
At that time, Yeshua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were in hunger, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat.
They said, wait a minute now. Y'all working on the Sabbath day. Y'all out here picking corn. Y'all eating out here? Y'all picking? Oh, no, y'all ain't. That y'all was supposed to be holy. Go ahead.
But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, your disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, Have you not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him?
Mm-hmm.
How he entered into the house of Elohim and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests.
Now stop. We got to talk about this showbread. This showbread, this hot bread that was put there in every Sabbath where the priests are making this. So these priests are laboring, okay? These priests are making this hot bread. These priests also perform all of the sacrificial rituals. All right? They're burning the incense. They're doing the offerings. They're doing all of these things. So we have to then understand the priests work on the Sabbath. All right. We about to go somewhere. Go ahead.
Or have you not read in the law how that on the Shabbat days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
Now, why are they blameless? Because it is their job to work on the Sabbath. Everybody else rests on the Sabbath. Priests do not rest on the Shabbat. So, when we put together a shindig and those people start working for us, have we not caused those people to step in a priestly station of which they do not belong? You have to understand, when you have a charge and then everybody is connected to that charge, then has the right to work under that charge. So when you have Yeshua, he is the high priest. What do you think the disciples were? Under priests. They are all working under him. But that all fits in as it pertains to the job. So let's say we end up, we have to do something, and they say, priest, we ran out of sterno, or we ran out of such and such. I say, yeah, go ahead and pick that up. But make sure you stay with what we need. Because, us, we'll go get the thing that we need. And, they carefully, they call it product placement. They put all these delicious goodies right at the register. Mm-hmm. And then they slow the register down. It's like the club line. They make sure you had it. So first time you look at that, that's a Snicker bar. And you say, no, I'm not in there. I came for the sterno for the Sabbath. I'm going to remember it to keep it holy. Mm-hmm. That's chocolate. That's caramel. Has it got nougat in it? That's nougat, ain't it? That's caramel, nougat, and peanuts. Oh, my goodness. Sounds delicious. Surely the Lord won't. Oh, okay. Now there we go. We done been in the line long enough. Now that Snicker bar just jumped right in the bucket. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, we are there for one thing, and we are protected under that charge. Get what you need to get for that charge. But I'm trying to tell you, the longer you're in that line, Lucifer all in your ear. How long it's been since you tasted nougat? That nougat is delicious. What is nougat? You should find out. Got another one. Got him. And you know when it's gonna come to you? When you open that wrapper and you take that first bite, and you say, "This is some good news." Yeah. Got him.
Yeah.
Got him. You ain't even gonna be. When did it say? He said, "Y'all gonna still be chewing while the quail is still in your mouth." The plague coming. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Elder. Verse 5, it says, "Or have you not read in the law, or how the Shabbat days, the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?" So, you mean to tell me, we just read Yeshua made course, and he said he was about his father's business. You see, but he was clearly about his father's business. But priests also, well, they call themselves priests. They also was marrying on, according to his question, on the Sabbath, right? So, you mean to tell me Yeshua wasn't marrying or was giving them marriage?
Sound like Yeshua would have hit them with one of them cords. I'm just gonna go ahead. Let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and tell the truth and shame the devil. Somebody would have got hit with that cord.
Okay. Sound like it to me.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Somebody was gonna get hit. Go ahead.
But they might think they held blameless.
Right. No. You held blameless if you're working. Now, what does that work have to do with Yahweh? See, that's what you got to ask. You know, that might be your good friend. But what does that have to do with Yahweh? That's the question that we have to ask.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if you had known that what this meant, I will have mercy and not sacrifice. You will not have condemned the guiltless, for the Son of Man is at nay, even of the Shabbat day.
Now, when he's talking about this, he is, if you read between the lines, you understand that he says, and he's stating that those disciples are priests. Yet people are so afraid of the term priest. Like you have exalted yourself. No. When you call yourself an apostle, you have exalted yourself. You told yourself, you know what I've learned from God? The Spirit teaches me. The Spirit drives me. No. When you call yourself that, priest, it's something they were born into. There wasn't no fancy something. But look at the devil. He got us accepting fancy stuff and shying away from the regular stuff. Go ahead.
And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? And if it fall into a pit on the Shabbat, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out?
Okay, here is that necessity on the Sabbath versus that chocolate, caramel, and nougat.
Right.
That wasn't necessary. Here is the necessity on the Sabbath. My ox fell in the ditch. All right, well, we say, I ain't got no ox. You got a car, don't you? What happened if the tire get flat? You gonna say I can't change the tires of Sabbath? That'll be working. So I'm just gonna sit here on the side of the road and hum some songs. What? Right. And you think that's holy? Go ahead.
How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. Then said he to the man, Stretch forth your hand. And he stretched it forth. And it was restored whole, like as the other. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him.
They held a council against him, how they might destroy him, because he healed someone on the Sabbath. You know how strange of a council this had to be? We need to destroy him. Why? Because he did extraordinary on the Sabbath day. What? You mean he healed basically what none of us can do, but because he did it on the Sabbath, he should be condemned. Now, we have to then start weighing the intent of us dealing with things on the Sabbath day. He asked the question, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day? Why is he even asking that question? Now, there's somebody in need, and he has the ability to do it. Now we have to go back to the original part of the question. Get married on the Sabbath day. Why would that be necessary? Why is that even come up? So he's definitely weighing the options of what things are righteous and which things are not. And if we have to go in the scales and see if healing somebody on the Sabbath is okay to do, I really want to see those places where they describe the marriages going in and what was the thought process of that being a righteous thing if we have to have a conversation if healing was righteous. That's a far cry right there. If we have this on one side, I have to really ask a question if this other thing is going to be considered okay if we're talking about condemnation for healing on the Sabbath. Go ahead.
Helping yourself and helping somebody. The difference between helping.
Oh boy, you done said a mouthful right there. See, because when you set forth and you set the date for the wedding, that's for you. You see somebody with a withered hand or somebody that you can help, that's for them. Two totally different things. Go ahead.
Verse 15. But when Yeshua knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him. And he healed them all, and charged them that they should not make him known, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Esaias the prophet.
All right, that's as far as I want to go right there. Let's go to John chapter 7. And start at verse 15.
And when the Yehudis marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Yeshua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of Elohim or whether I speak of myself. And he that speaks of himself seeks his own glory, but he that seeks his glory that sent him, the same is true.
All right, pause for a second. You just said a whole mouthful. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, whose glory are we seeking at the wedding feast? Is that about Yahweh and Yeshua? Because understand now, remember, he kind of has his own wedding feast that he's inviting people to. Mm-hmm. And he says he went out into the highways and byways and invited people unto the wedding feast and found there one without a wedding garment. Says some went about their ways. Some went about doing their own deeds. They were not interested in his wedding feast, but interested in their own. That's pretty interesting.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. Go ahead.
But he that seeks his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Did not Moshe give you the law, and yet none of you keeps the law? Why go you about to kill me?
Now, people are telling us, especially the love crowd, Sunday morning loves to talk about love. Love. And they separate law and love. Like if you have any dealings with the law, that you can't have love. It is the law that tells me how to love. Without the law, I had love of feelings. I had a lot of love of what I like. But when does that love help somebody other than you? As it is written, is the law sin? I had not known sin but by the law. If it was not for the law, what understanding would I have of what sin is? And that statement is true and profound to this very day. Because if you ask those who claim they don't deal with the law, you ask them what sin is, and sin is anything they don't like. It says just bad stuff. So that's what sin is? Sin is just bad. Okay, so what's bad? Things that's not good. That's your... And you graduated from college. Sin is bad, and bad is that which is not good. But we do not want to go back to the law. New Testament, Yeshua, right in the law. Right in the law. Moshe gave you the law. When they said, what things shall we do that we might have eternal life? He said, I'll read you the law. Yet we have Sunday morning talking about you're going to go to heaven and you don't need to worry about any law. Go ahead.
Verse 20. The people answered and said, you has the devil.
And that's pretty much what they're going to say about you. So go ahead and get yourself ready. Get that another layer of skin so that it won't penetrate and hurt your feelings. This is what's going to come out when you start dealing with things according to knowledge. And it's not like you take all your feelings out, but the feelings no longer drive the vehicle. See, that's our problem. We let feelings drive the vehicle. Feelings either need to be in that passenger seat or in the back seat. Feelings don't drive the vehicle. Go ahead.
Who goes about to kill you? Yeshua answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and you all marvel. Moshe therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moshe, but of the fathers. And you on the Shabbat day circumcise a man.
Mm-hmm.
If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, the law of Moshe should not be broken. Are you angry at me because I have made a man every whit whole on the Shabbat day?
Mm-hmm.
Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
All right, now, if we're going to deal with righteous judgment, he said something here that we have to ask, what is his angle? What direction is he speaking this? What context is he dealing with? He says, if a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, that the law of Moshe should not be broken. Wait a minute. Now, we got to deal with something. Why would they have to circumcise on the Sabbath day? Why couldn't they just move that too? See, these are the questions that people would ask me. Wow, wait a minute. You said, why would they do these things? What? They should just be able to move them. Yeshua says, I'll read you the law. Mm-hmm. Let's go to it. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 12. And start that at verse 1.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. According to the days of the separation of her infirmity, shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised.
Stop. Hold the press. The 8th day, this man-child has to be circumcised. Whatever that 8th day fall on the Sabbath day. Oh, she was made clean for that day. Now that deep. Because let me tell you something. Her blood don't stop flowing for, another 30 days? What it says, 7 days, and then if you go down, you got some other time. So wait a minute. Let me tell you how deep Yahweh is. There is a separation in her uncleanness so that boy can get circumcised. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, man, stop playing with me, man. Don't play in my face. Look at how deep this situation is right here. Okay? Because after 7 days, her blood has not stopped flowing. She's still cleansing. But on that 8th day, I need you to come take care of this business. Now we're starting to deal with the difference between what's necessity and things that we just like to do. Keep reading.
And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 3 and 30 days.
Come on, man. Come on. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. He put a break in between her purification for the circumcision. Stop playing with me, man. She's not done purifying, but there's a pause. Now, so when Yeshua asked, if the law of Moshe must be kept, and you circumcise a man on the Sabbath day, wait a minute. Because if it fall on the 8th day, if they say, you know what, we ain't going to do it today, now you get circumcised on the 9th day, somebody just caused a problem. Right. Okay. And this was a big thing. Keep reading about this, the rest of this. Keep reading a few more verses.
She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation. And she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest.
All right, now let's go to Philippians chapter 3, because there's a statement that's made here in Philippians, and you see how strong this ordinance is. Philippians chapter 3, and let's start at verse 1.
Finally, my brothers, rejoice in the adne, to write the same things to you. To me, indeed, is not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of the concision, for we are the circumcision, which worship Elohim in the spirit, and rejoice in the Mashiach Yeshua, and have no confidence in the flesh. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh. If any other man thinks that he has whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Mm-hmm. Circumcised the 8th day.
No, wait a minute, man. This is a grown man. This is a grown man. And he's standing on business. He said, I'm circumcised the 8th day. Now, I'm pretty sure he don't just remember that. This is a culture that everybody has gone down. Circumcised the 8th day. He's making a point. No matter if that 8th day fell on the Sabbath day, that was a necessary thing to do. So will we put aside the necessary things that we might go and enjoy ourselves? Go ahead.
Circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee, concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless.
All right. Letting you know how detailed he was and where his zeal was when it came to that. So when it comes down to the question, my biggest part of that answer goes to the individual having it, not the brother asking the question. The brother who is in the faith but still sets up that on that day. That's where I think the attention has to be, um, um, placed. And then, like my brother here said, we have to then consider what status do we hold somebody in that their answer about that or their view of that causes us to change our view. Because when we get down to a lot of folklore that people keep and they say is tradition, you find out that it was written in these extra books, and you find out that basically those are opinions. So people are not following what the word says. If we went to the Holy Land, we're going to run into a lot of traditions. Those traditions don't come from the Torah. They come from other books where so-called leaders wrote their idea or their view about what's in the Torah. So now, instead of following the Torah, they're following the idea of somebody's view about the Torah. This is why when you look at it, it will have parts of the law in it, and it seems like it fits. But you have to get far enough in there to figure out, whoa, where is this coming from? How do you have all of these rituals? How do you have all of these things? I'm not seeing this. This is where somebody else's idea has then invaded that. So you have to be very careful how you decide to deal with that. And I hope that gives you something to go on, because at the end of the day, rather than telling you what I think you ought to do, how about we let this scripture say what it say, and then you let me know what you come up with. But if we got a question as to why it was even called, I think that would already be my answer, or why whether or not I'm going, because I can't figure out why was it even said on this day. You know, when my folks said something and I know that they don't walk in this work, man, I know what that is. My folks would have these get-togethers, and they realized that I wasn't coming. You know, they realized I was going to ask them questions. They realized when I did show up, it'll be late. And they be like, we made all this food. I'm like, I can't eat none of that. So then they said, no, we got you this year. I said, how you got me? They was waiting for my whole family to show up. And when I showed up, there was a second tent. I said, well, what that is right there? He said, that tent right there is for you. Ain't nobody else go in that tent but you and your family. I said, what? All that stuff was cooked on that grill. Ain't nothing unclean in that tent. I said, what? All that for us? I said, well, I'll be damned. Yeah. Well, don't mind if I do. I walked in the tent. I said, nah, ain't no pork or pig in here nowhere. Ain't no oink in here. They didn't even cook it on the same grill. But what was that? That was constant standing on business. I said, this is what I'm going to stand on right here. Now, you can huff and you can puff, but I guarantee you, I'm trying to tell you, you're not going to blow my house down. Because this is what I'm going to do. And after a while, when they get through fighting you, they say, all right, let's go ahead and do it. So I got to give them credit for that. They went out. They did the thing. Mm-hmm. Whole tent. Everybody else getting near the tent. Don't go in that one. So now the heathen want to know, well, what's in that one? That's for them Hebrews that's about to show up. They don't eat like us. They're not like us.
Not like us.
They're not like us. Right. And I appreciate it. All right, we had another question. I have can you explain Proverbs chapter 6, 1 through 5? So let's go there. Proverbs 6, and let's start that at verse 1.
My son, if you be surety for your friend, if you have stricken your hand with a stranger, you are snared with the words of your mouth. You are taken with the words of your mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver yourself. When you are come into the hand of your friend, go, humble yourself, and make sure your friend. Give not sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, as a bird from the hand of the fowler.
Now, it says, is the scripture saying, do not vouch for a stranger or do not make a deal with the stranger, not knowing if the stranger is upright or a person of the word. And what is meant for you to come into the land of your friend, go humble yourself. So the first thing we have to do is do a little definition right here. My son, if you be surety for your friend, if you have stricken your hand with a stranger, when you're striking your hand, you are shaking. This is how deals are made.
Yep.
All right? This is how we done forgot. Now it is turned into paperwork. All right? Before, you shook on it. See, we don't even understand how powerful. There is a covenant. We're making an agreement. Right. When we greet one another and we give each other a pound, that is supposed to be a covenant of peace between brethren. But you'll find people will strike hands and be talking about you before they pull the whole hand away. That's what you strike hands with them for. Why would you enter into the covenant of peace if you didn't have any peace? So you have that, and I want to read something when we do a definition here. A surety is a promise or an agreement made by one party that debts and financial obligations will be paid. In effect, a surety acts as a guarantee that a person or an organization assumes responsibility for fulfilling financial obligations in the event that the debtor defaults and is unable to make payments. The party that guarantees the debt is referred to as the surety or the guarantor. So, when we deal with that, there are some other things that we have to look at. Let's go to Genesis chapter 44. When we talk about how some of the powers that be control the jewelry market, they have these areas where they do diamond trading where only the black hats get to go in there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a black hat and that black suit, you don't get to go in. Now, they make deals, might be $1 million deals. There's no paperwork in the building. All they do is strike hands. They agree on the deal, they shake. There's no money going. It might be $400,000 worth of diamonds going here. There's no money within this place. But, of course, nobody can get in this place but a certain group of people. So, understand that. Let's go to Genesis chapter 44 and let's start at verse 19.
Mahatne asked his servants, saying, have you a father or a brother? And we said to my master, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loves him.
Now, they're asking that there's a lot of stuff right here if you're not paying attention. So this is Joseph, their brother, and they don't know this is who they're talking to. All right? So he says, have you a father or a brother? They said, we have a father, an old man. We have a father. So we all got a father. and there's a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead. They're talking to the brother that they think is dead. Okay? And he alone is left of his mother. So he's automatically telling you that we got the same daddy, but we don't all have the same mother. There's a multiple marriage situation going on, but of his mother, it's just him and the one that's dead. So now he now knows what level of brother this other one is. They're all brothers. All right, go ahead.
And you said unto your servants, bring him down unto me, that I might set my eyes upon him.
Now he really want to see him now. He already like, I ain't never seen my own brother. And now you're going to tell me he is the brother of my mother. Bring him to me. Go ahead.
And he said unto my master, the lad cannot leave his father. For if he should leave his father would die.
He cannot leave his father. Look, we done already broke this old man's heart one time when we made like the other one was dead. All right? Now, we can't do this. We can't do this one more again. Go ahead.
And you said unto your servants, except your youngest brother come down with you, you shall see my face no more. And it came to pass, when he came up unto the servant of my father, we took him the words of my master. And our father said, go again, and buy us a little food. And we said, we cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then we will go down. For we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother be with us. And your servant, my father, said unto us, know you that my wife bare me 2 sons, and the one went out from me. And I said, surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since. And if you take this also from me, and mischief befall him, you shall bring down my gray hairs and sorrow to the grave. Now, therefore.
Now, they already knew that, though, without talking. All right, so they can already tell you, look here, man. Look, hey, partner, I'm trying to tell you. Look, this is going to be a problem right here. See, I know this to be truth and self-evident, okay? Because my daddy let me know at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know what, it's going to kill me. If something happens. They already know. They know how bad it hurt him. And they're having to look at their father knowing they're the one that hurt him. But it's amazing how well we can hold our secrets, ain't it? Look right in the eyes of that old man and know he in pain and act like we don't know why or what happened. And not only do we know, but we the ones that did it. Go ahead.
And ask him, is he okay?
Right. Ain't that something?
You okay, Daddy?
What was something else? See, this is the part we don't want to claim as Israel. No, these Israelites. These Israelites. Yeah, make sure you put this in your pet rally when you walk around with your little flags and what tribe you belong to. Find what evil your tribe did. Go ahead.
Now, therefore, when I come to your servant, my father, the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life. It shall come to pass, when he sees that the lad is not with us, that he will die. And your servants shall bring down the gray hairs of your servant, our father, with sorrow to the grave.
Say his heart is not going to be able to take it. This is going to finish him off. He cannot go through this again. You don't really think about how a staggered event causes so much pain. And especially when we are creatures of habit, if it reminds us of the previous pain, it'll actually look like this thing is the thing that's killing us, but it was really this one over here. He has suffered so much with the loss of Yosef. If something happened to Benjamin, people who come in will say, it just killed him when Benjamin. No. The one that killed him was Yosef. This was the last little bit that he was going to have left right here. And once that happened, he was gone. This is what causes us so much problems when we're trying to deal with what's causing us pain. Because we'll deal with the most recent incident and not deal with what's actually sitting there already agitating us. They know what this is. They know what's ailing him. Go ahead.
For your servant became surety for the lad unto my father.
Wait a minute. Wait. He became surety. Wait a minute. Look here. I got to guarantee this debt. I got to guarantee. Let me tell you something, man. I am the surety for this. So when you're talking about striking hands and becoming surety, wait a minute. You entered into a covenant with a stranger or somebody you don't know. Wait a minute. He says, I'm becoming a surety for the lad. He's willing to put his life on the line because, for one thing, he know the lad, and he's already taken a life. They don't know that life is sitting there alive in front of them, but they know that they have caused this. See, this is that thing that we do that we won't humble ourselves. We won't humble ourselves until we're caught.
Right.
We don't humble ourselves because I know I did it. We wait until you know I did it. Then we want to humble ourselves. But you just lowered the level of humbling. Why Yahweh got to pull your stuff out and stretch it all across the floor for now you want to be humble? You had to know he already knew, right? So why you had to wait until he stretched it all out? Go ahead.
If I bring him not unto you, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever.
Right, because I am the surety. I am the guarantor. I must take this. Go ahead.
Now, therefore, I pray you, let your servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my master, and let the lad go up to his brothers. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me? Lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father.
So let me go ahead and die here with you. I'm not going back to my daddy without this boy. Look, I done already seen this one time. I will be the surety. So there's some things there. Now let's go to Hebrews chapter 7. Start at verse Hebrews 7 and start at verse 11.
If therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, what further need was there that another priest, shall rise after the order of Melchizedek, and not be called after the order of Aaron? For the priesthood being changed, there is made of necessity a change also of the law. For if he whom these things are spoken pertains to another tribe, of which no man gave attendance to the altar, for it is evident that our Adonai sprang out of Judea, of which tribe Moshe spake nothing concerning priesthood. And it is yet far more evident, for that after the similitude of Melchizedek there arise another priest, who is made not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life. For he testifies, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. For there is verily a disannulling of the commandment going before the weakness and unprofitableness thereof. For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing of a better hope did, by the which we draw near unto Elohim. And in as much as not without an oath he was made priest. For those priests were made without an oath, but this with an oath by him that said unto him, the Adonai swear and will not repent, you are a priest after the order of Melchizedek. By so much was Yeshua made a surety of a better testament.
Wait a minute. He is made the surety of a better testament. Wait a minute. So you saying Yeshua is the gold behind the paper note?
Yep.
See, if we just print out, what's the difference between, you know what I'm saying? Like we got dollars in our pocket, all right? And we pull out $1 and we hand it to somebody for something, and they respect that. I mean, that dollar is just a piece of paper. Okay, so what if I get my own paper in it and I write, I draw my face on it. You know what I'm saying? I put myself from the side and I put a pen and I give it to them. I said, there goes $1. They said, look here, man. Look here, bro, I'm not going to take them $1. Why you won't take it? It's paper just like that. Why you want to take the $1? What is the surety behind that $1? There ain't nothing guaranteeing this payment, is it? Okay, but then now we have an issue. Wait a minute. Now we have the worker of miracles being the surety of our testament. Wait a minute. Now this paper worth gold now. Because we have a real guarantor on this. So now you want to talk about your stocks and bonds, here go your stocks and bonds. Now we working with something. Because there's something backing it. Let's go to Revelation chapter 5. Because see, you earn something there. Revelation chapter 5. And I want you to start at verse 1.
And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the back side, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book and loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Yehudah, the root of David, had prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Now, and this is why everybody you talk to want to be from the tribe of Yehudah. Everybody is Judah. Judah, everybody claim they from the same tribe. Everybody can't be from Judah. We do not have 12 tribes of Judah. And it's all everybody want to deal with. Because everybody claim they want to be in the tribe where the power is. You see how we do? Mm-hmm. But then when it comes time to stand in the power, we somewhere behind the burning bush. I ain't gonna go over there, that bush on fire. I thought you what? Right. Go ahead.
And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of Elohim sent forth into all the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden bowls full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, You art worthy to take the book.
Now, why is it worthy to open the book? Now remember, he's the surety of the testament. Remember now, they said, the brother said, I'm going to be a surety for the lad's life. All right, go ahead.
And to open the seals thereof, for you were slain.
Oh, wait a minute. So then he earned the power within this covenant, being a surety for that. He paid for it in his blood. Go ahead.
And has redeemed us to Elohim by your blood out of every kindred and language and people and nation, and has made us unto our Elohim kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne.
Stop for a second. Because see, this is where we make the biggest. This is why everybody want to be from Judah, because the kings come out of Judah. Understand something. And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels, and it says many angels round about the throne, and beasts and elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, thousands of thousands. verse 10 is where I want to go. And have made us unto our Elohim kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. What make y'all think we got to be from Judah to be kings and priests? Why you think he had 12? What you think their job is? See, you got kings and priests among Israel, but the whole world gonna have to be dealt with. Who's gonna be priests to them? Why do you think he opened up the priesthood to these other tribes? We too busy trying to be Judah because that's the only place where you see rulership. You ain't looking right. Go ahead, brother.
And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and the beast, and the elders. And the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands, saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power, and riches, and wisdom, and strength, and honor, and glory, and blessings. And every creature which is in heaven, and on the earth, and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, Blessings, and honor, and glory, and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever. And the four beasts said, Amen. And the 24 elders fell down and worshipped him that lives forever and ever.
Wait a minute now. You say these 4 and 20 elders. If you go back to Revelation 4, it says they got crowns of gold. If we ain't got but one tribe of rulership, why they got crowns too? Why they got crowns of gold? See, we're limiting our Elohim. We're limiting our Elohim in a major way. Now, there was something else within the question, and it was about not making an agreement with the where is it? Making agreement with someone that you really don't know. I wanted that one is you have to be careful with that one. And to deal with that, I want you to go to Luke chapter 16. Luke chapter 16, and let's start that at verse 1.
And he
now,
said,
entering into a covenant, definitely that part be very careful of. But then there's this other part that we need to make sure we're open for. Go ahead.
And he said also unto his disciples, There was a certain rich man, which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. And he called him, and said unto him, How is it that I hear of this of you? Give an account of your stewardship, for you may be no longer steward. Then the steward said within himself, What shall I do? For my master takes away from me the stewardship. I cannot dig. To beg, I am ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
I am resolved what to do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, they might receive me into their houses.
Wait a minute. So at this point, he said, you know what? I need to treat these people better. Mm-hmm. That don't cross our mind right away. Sometimes don't cross our mind at all. Go ahead.
So he called every one of his master's debtor unto him, and said unto the first, How much you owe your master? Owe you my master? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said unto him, Take your bill, and sit down quickly, and write 50. Then said he to another, And how much you owe it? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, Take your bill, and write 80. And the master commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light.
Mm-hmm.
And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of the unrighteous.
Stop. Now, this didn't say go worship with the friends that you have of the unrighteous man. We're gonna have to get some clarity when we start dealing with stuff like this. Now, make you friends of the mammon of unrighteousness. You need to know where that line is. Because we think that once we are a friend of somebody, we're going to go where they go. And we're going to do what they do. Mm-hmm. And we're going to hang where they hang. You need to understand, you can't do what they do. You can't go where they go. You might go around someplace and then you know what? It's about that time. Things starting to look strange up in about that time. But he says, make yourself friends of the mammon of unrighteousness. Why? Hey, he just said that they're wiser than the children of light. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
That when you fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitation.
Uh-huh.
He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. He that is unjust in least is also in much. Is unjust also in much. If therefore you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches?
This is something that we really don't look at, right? That we feel like, these unrighteous people, and we don't put our all into dealing with those situations, and we don't really consider how Yahweh is being viewed, because those people look at us, they look at our name, they know we different, and in certain aspects, saying we know that we can represent our Elohim better than that. So this is what we are putting out in his name, and we have to rethink that. How faithful are we in what the mammon of unrighteousness have given us? Because there are people still looking at that, looking at how faithful we do that. And there's not, one of us that has been completely right in the things that we're supposed to do within our workplace. I was telling people, and look, all of us do things daily that can get us fired at any moment. At any moment, we could be handed one of them pieces of paper. So, we don't realize that it's Yahweh showing us, favor and mercy that we hadn't got called back down to that office. And sometimes when we ain't get called back to that office, we do it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Because we say, you know what, they ain't seen none of it. They don't even know I'm doing it. They ain't even know. Until they say, you know what, hey, can we talk to you for a minute? Can I talk to you for a minute? Oh, man. Yeah, boy, you ain't never had one of them meetings. Then I tell you what, he said, hey, I done had one. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, you don't want to have too many of those, all right? Because at the same time, you're still supposed to be representing something here, okay? Go ahead.
And if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own?
And what if Yeshua is looking at us not by what we do in the congregation? What if he show up on our job? Sucker, you supposed to be right there. Because if I recall correctly, I think your position, you're supposed to be over here. What if he's holding us accountable? Not for the stuff that we do when we think he's looking. What if it says, I show up at a time when you think not. You know the time that we think not? When we at work. is definitely the time. He definitely not going to show up here. Y'all sure you don't want to come up in here. Ain't nothing but heathen in here. And what if his thing is, yeah, you was the only one righteous. And look at what you're doing. What if that is that thing? What if that is that place where he's going to show up? So when we deal with the mammon of unrighteousness, do we lower our ability because we know they're not righteous? Mm. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Elohim and Mammon.
All right. So that is as far as we're going to go tonight. So hopefully we've gotten enough going on with those few things that we had. They were some very, very good questions there, and things that really did deserve to go into your. You can't just throw a one-liner at some of these things and just move on. I mean that worked for some other things here, but when we're talking about this, that there's so many directions of where somebody's situation might be this way, somebody else's situation is this way. So we want to try to see if we can cover all of those directions when we deal with a situation. So hopefully that has accomplished that. But brother, would you lead us out in prayer, please?
Yes, sir. We rise and face the east. Father Yah, Most High Covenant Elohim, Barbarian, Misak, and Yaakov. Once again, Father Yah, we thank you for the questions, for another opportunity to read out the legacy, to try to correct our walk, Father Yah, for we have greatly walked against the things that we had right in front of us, Father Yah, but we were blinded up to them, Father Yah. But it is written that you have blinded us, Father Yah. As we have the scales removed from our eyes, Father Yah, we ask that you will strengthen us in these ways that we go over, Father Yah. Cause us to walk upright as you have created us, Father Yah. Be with us on this narrow path in which you have paved out and which leads to your salvation. We ask that you will keep a hedge of protection around about this, your place, Father Yah, and about our homes. Also give us traveling grace as we move about this treacherous world, Father Yah. Forsake us not, Father Yah. Forgive us for our sins and the sins of our forefathers. In Yeshua HaMashiach's holy and divine name, I come to you and ask you all of these things. Amen and hallelujah.